for your very kind invitation to have me come here and listen to your log of claims. Everywhere I have been, I've always tried to speak longer than the person introducing me. But if I do not succeed today, you will understand why. I didn't get my prepared speech. Ladies and gentlemen, presidents and leaders of the Confederation, jokes aside, I'm pleased to be here. I was brought up by a teacher, and when I became prominent in Fiji, after that, my father was decorated by the President of Fiji and given a medal for having worked for Fiji for over 50 years. The letter writer in the Fiji Times asked why an obscure teacher was given the medal. An obscure school teacher from an unknown part of Fiji. I was not very happy with that letter. I didn't show my father the letter. I do not know whether he ever saw it before he died. I hope he didn't. I think it would have made him very, very sorry. That anyone would call a teacher an obscure person. I'm glad that I'm here, and you have some outstanding logs of claims. The outstanding claims and your being here demonstrate, and the letter demonstrate the difficulties that people have in fathoming the importance of your profession. I'm honored that my friend, I can call him my friend now, in 87, he wouldn't call me his friend, now I'm calling him my friend. Mr. Krishna Dutt is here. And the president of the Fiji Teachers Union highlighted that in 1987, I was only regarded as a cruel coup leader. I'd like to remind the president that after what you said about me now, and all of us, I'd like to remind us that every saint had a past. And every sinner has a future. It was in this hall during the campaign before the 2018 general election. My Tawur Pereli was in the hall that night. When I told him about my response to people who were asking me but why I was still running for office, running for parliament. Right where he is sitting now, there was this podium and a mic where I gave him the answer, the response, my response to those who had asked that question. And I think I posted it on my Facebook page. It was about a young man who volunteered with many other young men of the time who were trained to be monks. They were trained in the desert. Over the months and over the years, one by one, his intake of young men left. Until one day he was the only one left in that training place. We went along to the old man, old wise monk, and asked him, "Sir, everyone who came here with me has left. I am the only one here. Should I also leave?" The old man sat, looked at the sand, looked at the hills in the horizon, and then said to this young man, "One afternoon, I sat here and I saw my dog chasing after a rabbit. He chased his rabbit over that first hill, down the other side. And before they got to the top of this hill, every dog in this area came and followed my dog. They went over that hill, there's a stream on the other side. One by one, the dogs started returning. Until just before nightfall, my dog returned with the rabbit." And the young man sat there, and what has that got to do with my question? The old man told him, "My dog was the only one that saw the rabbit. All the other dogs heard my dog barking. They could smell my dog and follow the smell, but that would have been covered by the stream on the other side of this hill, so they came back. My dog kept going because it was the only one that saw the rabbit. And I told them here that night, I'm still dying because I can see a rabbit. Finally caught that rabbit on the 24th of December last year. When Fiji, for the first time, elected its Prime Minister on the floor of Parliament. We've never done that since 1970 when we became independent. We're making history. We are making history. I thank the young man who made a reference to the New Year's address. The New Year's address that was quoted by King George VI in his first address during the war in 1939. A lot of people do not know that up to that day, that address, King George VI stuttered very badly. A kaka. And an obscure person from an obscure part of the empire at the time volunteered to cure and heal his speech defect. That man was from Australia. Not many people know about him until they made the film in Hollywood, The King's Speech. The whole movie was about this man who taught King George VI to speak without defect. And the first address he made was on at New Year's Eve, 1939, when the Empire was engaged in the Second World War. I was not given an address today. I'm just here to tell you stories. But I will remember your love of play. There are times when everyone will be called to do something for the good of the nation. You, my colleague, the Minister for Education, and the Assistant Minister, and those of us in Parliament, have been called to do something for this nation and its people. We have put our hands up. Some of us are fortunate. Some of us here were not so fortunate. But I think we need to be assessed again. Who would volunteer? Who would volunteer and spend money to go into Parliament and be abused by everybody on Facebook, in social media, even in public media? But we are there. We are there because we feel and know and accept that we have been called to lead this nation into better times. And we call on the nation at this time. When there is a need for us to rebuild, compromise is not enough. Each of us will have to make sacrifices. You have sacrificed a lot. And I thank you and all your predecessors who have taught our children. Over the years, we have seen great leaders come and go. We have seen great men and women come and go. We all acknowledge how great they were. Very few of us look behind them to see the men and women who taught them in school. That's who you are and who we are. We were taught by obscure teachers like you. You're not obscure at all. We were taught by great men. How can obscure people teach great men and women? You're great men and women. There's a calling in your lives. Continue to produce great men and women who will go out into the darkness, put their hands in the hand of God, which is better than any light and safer than any known path. Remind them, if they look at you and say, you did this when you were at that school, at that age, tell them, remind them, every saint has a past, every sinner has a future. And call on them. At times like this, compromise is not enough. Everyone will be called to make sacrifice. Thank you for your invitation.